Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, we're your hosts, Danny and Juice. How you doing tonight, Juice?
I'm doing well. I am feeling authoritative this evening.
Oh, with
Yes.
that being
Yes.
said, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is our Monday Anything Goes night. We do random segments every Monday night. Before we do our segments, though, we always do some paying the bills. So thank you to Accept the Win for being the official band of the podcast. You hear them before, during, and after the show. Check out their
Ooh.
YouTube page for any of their music videos or anything like that. They are great to listen to. And thank you so far for everyone who's thrown us a sub. We're at 5 out of 10. We are trying to get to 10 out of 10. So if you can, please throw us a sub down there. If you have, what do you have? If you have Prime, it is free for you, helps us out. Directions are
If
in the chat. So if you have Prime, you gotta use your laptop or computer, but it will help us out and it's free for you.
if we hit 10 total subs by end of the year, I will double that number with 10 gifted.
Oh, you heard it from Juice.
Challenge is laid out.
Let's do it.
Y'all have 2 weeks.
You got 2 weeks. It's just in time for Christmas. And if you've never been on a Monday night show, we do random segments every week. Tonight, though, is becoming an annual segment. It is the Juicy 50. Some say better than the PWI 500. I don't know. Some say that. I'm not sure. But before we get to the Juicy 50, we do our usual trivia. So, in honor of the quote-unquote greatest of all time retiring this past weekend, John Cena.
Ooh.
John Cena. My question for you is, John Cena's top 3 opponents that he's faced the most are Randy Orton, Edge, and The Miz. Separately or combined, because it is the same percent, what percentage of wins does he have out of a total of 614 matches? I don't want the number, just a percentage. What percentage do you think he's defeated Randy Orton, Edge, and The Miz? Those are his top 3 opponents. He's wrestled them a total of
All right.
614 times. What
Okay.
percentage has he won the matches?
All right, now I've gotten there. You took a long road to get there, but I was trying to decipher that question. Okay. So it's definitely more than 50. I mean, now
Okay.
I'm assuming you're including house shows, and you just went off the all-time number, not on
All-time
TV.
number.
Yeah, he cleaned up on house shows, so I think it's even more than 63% Freebird if we're including house shows.
Yeah, I don't believe he's wrestled them 614 times on televised TV.
I mean, 25 years between the 3 of them, you could have
Possibly.
200 each
Possibly.
over 25 years, in various matches. This isn't one-on-one. No, it's not one-on-one. 614 times. Okay. Let's go. I think it's more than the 63% Freebird puts in the chat. I'm gonna say 76%. I mean, I'm probably going a little too high. It's probably in the middle of my number and Freebird's number. You know what? I'll lower it a little bit. I'll go 72%. A little lower.
72%. Final guess.
Yes.
Final guess. Juice, you should have went the other way. It is actually a nice round 80%.
All right.
He has
I'll take
won
it.
a total, hold on, I got the final number here. Out of 614 matches, he has won 493 of them.
I'm sure a large chunk of those were to the Miz, but
No. So once again, and the reason it got a little confused when I was saying it, and I'm sorry for that, each individual person has an 80% win clip, which was just coincidence. So he's beaten Randy Orton 80%, he's beaten Edge 80%, and he's beaten The Miz 80%. They all have, like, obviously different match totals. But that's what I found so weird, that he's beaten each one of them 80% of the time. It's crazy.
I don't know. I don't believe that. What's your source?
You could check Sportster. That's where I got the numbers from.
Let's investigate that.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, I found that
That
very
coincidence.
weird.
That coincidence is too great.
I agree.
But
Imagine that's like his thing. I should have delved more into it. Like every opponent that he's faced, it's an 80% win clip. It'd be kind of weird. That's like in his contract.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
All right, with that being said, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for me to take a back seat. And this is now Juice's show. I'm sure John Cena will be on this list somewhere. It's top 50 of the year. You know, he just retired. He's the GOAT. But let's find out. Juice, without further ado, I'm going to set you up. Take over, my friend.
So again, thank you, Danny. This is the third, I believe, annual Juicy 50. This is where, as Danny said before, I put together my own list of the top 50 wrestlers in wrestling for the year of 2025. This is my list and my list purely. It can be men and women. It can be AEW, WWE, any other company. Although the way this works is it's all the usual factors. It goes from January 1st to December 31st, although in this case, December 15th, because here we are. The year's not fully done yet, and it could change a little bit. But click to add subtitle. Let's go.
Yeah,
yes.
I get that off.
Yep. Oh, that's great.
Hey, man, you left it on.
No, you stayed on there. There you go. He's gone. All right.
It's not going away.
So things that factor into this, obviously, amount of matches you have, win-loss record, people you do beat, the moments you have throughout the year. It could be just straight up the impact you had on the year. Maybe in some cases, the matches, the wins-loss record doesn't matter that much. It's more about your impact in the year. And quite frankly, it's my list. It comes down to vibes and who I do and do not like. So there are names that are intentionally left off this list. Y'all won't agree. Y'all will be mad. Y'all will see very shortly some of the names that aren't included on this list. And you know what? That's why it's the Juicy 50. It's not the Danny 50. It's not the Coverless 50 or
It's
the
not the
Freebird
Sharpshooters 50.
This is the Juicy 50. It's my list. And y'all can roast me all you want. That's fine. It's my opinion. And end of the day, I don't think they were worthy of being on the list for the top 50 best wrestlers of 2025.
Oof. So wait, before you get started, just really quick, because there's some chatter there's some put in the chat before we started. Keverlast put his top 5 wrestlers of 2025, male or female. He said AEW men were Moxley, Swerve, Ospreay, Takeshita, and Fletcher. Women, Mercedes, Tony, Statlander, Willow, and Harley. For the WWE side, men, he said Punk, Walter, Rollins, Cody, and Dom. And for the women, he said Stephanie Vicor, Lyra, Becky, Io, and Roxanne. Freebird wanted to do an accept the win shout out. And Keverlast said this shit about to go from juicy to watered down.
Ooh. Well, you know, Keverlast, I can already tell you all the names on your list. They're not on mine. So
that would be wild.
We will not all of them. Some of them. Sorry, some of the names on your list are not on my list.
I was gonna say all of them would be crazy, bro. What
yeah,
list did you make then?
If you are watching, again. Throw in the chat who your top 5 wrestlers of the year were. You can do male or female, certain company or not. And again, you can get mad. It's fine. I understand.
Oh, get mad. Put it in the chat. Let us know.
Again, it's my opinion. It's the ones that I think were the best ones.
Not me. Stephanie Vicur probably could be number 1 overall, even with her whack-ass Nikki Bella storyline.
Ooh.
I don't know about that.
Full take from someone that only watches Monday Night Raw. Okay, starting off the Juicy 50. Let's get to the first slide, Danny.
Honorable mentions.
So, these are some names that are not on the list at all.
At all.
That you probably think should be on there for various reasons. I just thought Alexa Bliss, despite the tag team with Charlotte, very quiet year. She debuted, she returned at the Rumble, didn't do anything for like 5-6 months, I feel like. Cena, yeah. Listen, that run was a train wreck. And yeah, sure, you can argue that it was one of the defining things of the year. But Cena on a juice list is crazy. It would be if he was on it, Freebird. But he's an honorable mention. He's not there. Didn't even think he would exist as a runner-up. Any juice list that's positive. Yep, very true. So I debated not even including him on here, but I figured.
I'm laughing that you guys are really hyped that he put him on the honorable mention list as if like this is a big deal. Like,
well,
this
you
is
know what?
exactly
It kind of
what
is.
he said.
It kind of is because I didn't have him on there at first, and then I said, you know what? Let me just rip the Band-Aid off and not include him, so everyone doesn't watch and think that I'm gonna throw him on there. Either way, Naomi. You can argue she had a strong few months in there with the heel turn, with the Jade stuff, then the Money in the Bank, and I debated it. But honestly, pregnancy thing threw me. You know, yeah, there's injuries and things happen, but you know what?
That's sexist, bro.
You made the choice. You got preggers. You ruined your biggest push of your career. You lost the time. You lost the momentum. You lose your spot on the Juicy 50 list.
Damn.
Roxanne Perez
Juice.
debated Roxanne Perez, but she just lost a lot. She really didn't have any wins. The tag titles were literally handed to her because of the Liv Morgan injury. And that's kind of it. She's stuck in the Judgment Day vortex, so she doesn't get no 50 for me. And Randy Orton, besides staring at Cody Rhodes' title belt.
Where is he? Where's he been?
He hasn't done anything this year. He's stared at Cody's belt for like a year or two now. The Owen stuff obviously hurt him with him getting hurt and everything, but I digress.
I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Really quick, obviously everyone making fun of Cena being on your list. Didn't even think he'd exist as a runner-up. Harley said WWE, LA Knight, Stephanie McCoy, Randy Orton, Dominic Mysterio, Rhea. I changed my pick from Bailey to Stephanie. And AW, John Moxley, Mark Briscoe, Harley Cameron, Willow, Adam Page, torn between him and Swerve. Roxanne is still mad to me. Basically, she's a Roxanne Perez support player, says Freebird.
I mean, that's the kind of thing. She's there, but she's not really doing anything substantial enough to put her on my list. So before we dive in, this was honorable mentions. I see some people have joined us. Welcome to the show. Just a quick reminder, this is the Juicy 50. It is my list and my list only. It goes off of
nothing
everything.
to do with this.
It factors in everything from the year, their win-loss record, the matches, the amount of matches they had, the impact on the year they had, and at the end of the day, it's straight up vibes and how I feel about them. If I don't like them, I probably won't put them on my list, and I will be spiteful. My list.
Spiteful
So
juice.
if you don't like it, throw it in the chat. Let me know. I'll hear you out. But,
please argue. I'm probably gonna not like a lot of his stuff, guys. So help me out. Argue with me.
Fully know what I'm doing. So now the next slide is going to be names that were on last year's list and just fell off of this year's list. So these are also
all right. Here we go.
More names that will not be on this year's list.
Drop
some
offs.
Some of these will make more sense.
I'm gonna make this a little bigger, just so you know, bro.
Yeah, that's fine. Roman Reigns. Yeah. Honestly, he was lucky he made it at number 50 last year because of the part-time bullshit. This year, I took him off completely. Becky at 48. Yeah, she had the strong stuff in the middle of the year with Lyra and feuding with her, but I didn't think she was worthy of being put on the list, really. I don't think her getting the IC title should have been there, but again, she was at 48, so she falls off. Damian Priest fell off the face of the earth this year, thank God.
Yeah, who knows where he went.
Jade Cargill missed a big chunk of the year, and yeah, she's champion now, but hasn't really done much with it and isn't really over, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Nia Jax sucks. She honestly had a much bigger year last year. This year, she really didn't do too much. She lost the belt to kick off the year, so she falls off. Eddie was out for most of the year. He came back at the end. He's picking up steam now. And then Kevin Owens, he got hurt early on in the year. So all these ones were drop-offs. They will not be on this list.
The only one I personally am not sure about, I would say, is Becky. I feel like she might have done enough to make a top 50, but also I'm not sure what your top 50 is. So that's an early hesitancy for me, but not.
All right.
That's all.
And one last reminder before we dive into the official top 50.
My opinion doesn't matter.
No, well, yes, but if you are new here to the show and you do not watch weekly and you're not familiar, I stopped watching WWE after WrestleMania.
Oh, that's very fair too.
I've kept up with everything as much as I can, but anything after Mania, I did not watch. So that impacts my list. Keep that in mind.
In your defense, I feel like not a lot of WWE guys would have been on the top anyway, but yes, it still doesn't
Maybe.
Till 5 Wrestling said The Outbreak, hoping that they'll see them on the list. JDeFalco 7 says Becky's biggest feud this year has been against a referee, which is also very fair. Becky's most consistent feud has been against the crooked referees that keep screwing her out of her wins. So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that's correct. Next up.
All right. Here we go. Number
more
50.
drop-offs.
Oh, there's more drop-offs? Oh, my bad.
That's what this said. What the hell just happened?
Yep, you're right. More drop-offs. My apologies.
There's
a lot of new names on the list this year. Okay. Are you serious?
Hey, man, I don't know what the hell just happened. The whole list just went crazy.
The worst.
We're here.
Damn it. All right. More drop-offs. Jey Uso, not on my list. Jay White, not on the list. Thunder Rosa, Red Velvet, Sami Zayn, Bayley, and Billy Starks.
Yeah, none of them have done anything this year.
I mean, you can make your argument about Jey Uso as much as John Cena, but again, I'm making my choice. He's not on my list.
All right, next up.
No, right,
so now
50.
We're starting, right?
Now we're starting. Number 50.
Bam.
All right, there we go. Number 50. So there's a little bit of a delay there, heads up. I have to wait till I can see it on my screen. At number 50, LA Knight dropping 35 spots. 25, 21, and a 2 record in 2025. He won the U.S. title in March, only held it for a month and a half before losing it to Jacob Fatu. His notable matches were when he beat Shinsuke for the belt, lost it to Jacob Fatu, and then he had the 4-way with Punk, Jay, and Rollins and Clash in Paris. He had a good little month or two in there with the U.S. title, but they only gave it to him to lose it. And since then, he's kind of been suppressed, I feel like. So maybe 2026 will be a bigger year for him.
I agree. I mean, the way they're setting it up right now, like I said, with the way they ended a Raw last week where he just was all over it. Yeah, he got beat up at the end, but like he's kind of being pushed as a big baby face, so we'll see what happens. Keverlast, I am making the drop-off list in 2026 after that blunder. Thank you. Freebird, I like LA Knight because I remember Eli Drake. Good job. I think he's imperative to keeping WWE watchable. And Jade Falco says, can't wait to see where Puppet Monet lands.
Yep. All right. Next up, number 49. We have AJ Styles, 15-9 in 2025. He won the tag titles with Dragon Lee back in October. They're the current champions. But besides that, he's kind of had a quieter, weird year. He had the match with Logan Paul at Mania. He fought Dom at SummerSlam. And then he fought Cena at Crown Jewel, which many thought was probably one of Cena's best matches of his final year.
Yes.
But besides that, he had that weird bit where he was like, someone's holding me back, holding me down. And just nothing really much for him. So now that the Cena stuff's done, if his last year's coming up in 2026, let's see if they give him the respect and attention he deserves. But hopes aren't too high.
I mean, at this point, you got to assume it's just going to be a match against Gunther or Walter to finish his career.
Which is pathetic, but either way. All right, next up, number 48. Moving right on along, we have Rhea Ripley dropping 4 spots from last year on the list. Her record coming in at 14, 7, and 2 on the year. She won the women's title in January. She beat Liv Morgan, I believe, on the first Netflix episode. Held it for 2 months, lost it on Raw to Io Sky, and then had the WrestleMania rematch with Io and Bianca. Io retained. And then she had a street fight, I believe, at Night of Champions against Raquel Rodriguez. After losing the belt and having that kind of really bad storyline for Mania, like she kind of just floundered doing Io stuff and tag team stuff and wore a face mask again. So, we needed a Rhea breather, but this was definitely a breather year, I feel like, for Rhea after Mania in particular. But
Agreed.
Yeah, Rhea at 48.
And even to make matters worse, so I know maybe if you had known this, you might have dropped her even maybe off the list. She just reunited with another one who just dropped off the list with Damian Priest, and the Terror Twins are back, and they just came back on SmackDown last week.
Yeah, I did see that. That's nice. All right, next up, 47. CM Punk dropping 7 spots from last year. Oh, 9, 10, and 1 on the year. And by the way, these records are just their televised matches. I'm not including live events or house shows.
Yeah. Okay.
So 9, 10, and 1 on the year. Two-time world champion in the year. One was only for a few minutes. The other one was for 2 months, and he's currently 2 months. So still going. Good for him. His notable matches on the year: Seth Rollins on Raw, the debut, fighting Roman and Seth at Mania, Cena at Night of Champions, Walter at SummerSlam, Becky and Seth with AJ at WrestlePalooza, and Jey Uso at Saturday Night's Main Event, where the belt kind of just got handed to him because they fell into a Seth Rollins injury. But so Punk moves down. But there you go.
I mean, that makes sense. Again, kind of a weak year. You would hope he would have a stronger year, but.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up. Number 46 is Stephanie Vicaire, making her debut on the list at 14, 4, and 1. She is the current holder of the women's world title for 3 months running so far. Notable matches on the year: she fought Io Sky in her debut. She won the Evolution Battle Royal. Fought Io Sky at WrestlePalooza to win the belt. Beat Tiffany Stratton at Crown Jewel to be the Crown Jewel champion. And then she fought Nikki Bella at Survivor Series. So a very good year for Stephanie Vicaire. I did not include any of her NXT accolades because I did not watch NXT, but she had some NXT successes as well in the early months as well. So a good year for Stephanie, and a good spot at 46.
Agreed.
Moving on to 45. We have Seth Rollins moving up 2 spots on the year at 12, 5, and 1 in 2025, despite what I have there. My apologies. I've missed taking off the 4. So in 2025, he cashed in Money in the Bank at SummerSlam on CM Punk. He formed division with Paul Heyman, and he missed yet again 3+ months with injuries, which is the same actually bullet point I had for him in 2024. So pretty funny for Seth Rollins. 2 years in a row missing multiple months. His notable matches: CM Punk on Raw, Punk and Roman at WrestleMania, Money in the Bank where he won, and then Cody Rhodes where he won at Crown Jewel but then got hurt. So Seth moving up 2 spots at 45.
Good for him.
Next up, 44.
Wrong way. There we go.
All right, we have Charlotte Flair, 15 and 7 on the year. I actually forgot this making the list. She won the Women's Royal Rumble this year. It's always fun when you recap and you're
You
like,
know
wait,
what? That is so
year.
true, because it was such a stupid feud that I forgot that she was the main reason for that. Because the whole Bianca Rhea Io feud seems so much bigger. That's so true. That's crazy.
She won the Royal Rumble, then she lost at WrestleMania 41 to Tiffany Stratton. From there, she formed a tag team with Alexa Bliss. They won the tag titles, held them for 3 months. And notable matches: I already mentioned Rumble and Tiffy. They fought Raquel and Roxanne at SummerSlam, won the tag titles there, and then War Games. So Charlotte Flair debuting, returning to the list, who wasn't on last year, at number 44. Number 43. Hi. At number 43, at 12, 9, and 2 on the year. She won the women's title on the road to WrestleMania, beating Rhea, and held it for 4 months after that. Formed a tag team with Rhea, I guess. So that was cool. And then notable matches: the Rhea Ripley match on Raw, where she won the belt, Bianca and Rhea at Mania, Rhea and Naomi at Evolution and SummerSlam, and then Stephanie Vicaire at WrestlePalooza. So yeah, that's it. Number 43, Io Sky making a debut there on the list. Now let's go to number 42.
So
Don't worry, Freebird, Kevlar, stick with me.
Yep, I was gonna say. So real quick, some things Jade Falco said before. I assume talking about. I'm not sure who he was talking about. Oh, maybe Seth Rollins. He needs to face Punk once before he retires, but Triple H will never let that happen. I'm not sure who. Oh, okay, there you go. Kevin Last said, yes, can't forget about the brutal promos with Tiff and Charlotte on SmackDown. Woof. Jada Falco said, invented a new tongue where she points at her head. Still a big EO fan. And then Jada Falco asked for Styles. Oh, tell me about Styles. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, next up.
All right, 42. Lyra Valkyria, coming in at 11, 12, and 1 on the year. Not a great record, but kicked off the year big way in January, becoming the first ever women's Intercontinental Champion. Held it for 6 months, won the women's tag titles at Mania, but she lost them the next day. And then some notable matches. Dakota Kai is actually the one she beat for the IC title, which I forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
The tag team gauntlet match with her and Bayley, which was actually probably one of the better WWE matches they did this year, where Bayley and Lyra were in there for like 45 minutes. That was pretty good. Liv Morgan and Raquel with Becky at WrestleMania. And then Becky Lynch, she fought Becky, I didn't realize this, at Backlash, Money in the Bank, and SummerSlam. And the thing is, like, from what I looked at, after she fought Becky at SummerSlam, Lyra just fell off a cliff. Like,
yeah, and that's what I said
done-
too. I know she started the whole feud with not
Bayley.
feud, but like feud / friendship with Bayley. But like that was such a downgrade because they weren't on TV week to week. They weren't making it like a huge like they're on TV more now, but also.
Yeah.
I still don't know if they're they're still kind of doing the Bayley thing, but they're not. It's weird. So after that whole Becky thing, she kind of just wasn't pushed as strong as she was, which is very sad.
Yep. No, that also held her down a little bit too. The fact that she kind of disappeared there for 4 or 5 months. But all right, next up, number 41.
Oh my God! What a drop!
Now, bear with me. Bear with me. All will make sense soon enough. Walter.
Oh, because Gunther's higher on the list. I get it.
Walter dropping 34 spots this year to 13-2 on the year.
God damn.
Began the year as world champion, held it for 4.5 months. He won it again in June and held it for 2 more months. Retired both Goldberg and John Cena. Notable matches: Jey Uso on Raw, Goldberg at Saturday Night's Main Event, CM Punk at SummerSlam, and Cena at Saturday Night's Main Event. So, again, a big drop, but bear with me. All will make sense soon enough.
The man just retired John Cena. You're putting him. You dropped him 34 spots. That's crazy.
I'm aware. Next up at number 40, please.
And he doesn't even want to talk about it. People at home, tell him what he did. Why are we allowing this?
Number 40, Cody Rhodes.
Another crazy drop.
Dropping 45 spots this year at 11-6-2 in 2025. He began the year as WWE champion, held it for 4.5 months, regained the championship in August. He's the current holder since then. Some notable matches on the year: he fought Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble, Cena at Mania and SummerSlam, Orton at Night of Champions, and Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel. All right, moving on to number 39, please.
Wait. How are we moving on with such huge drops without more explanation of these huge drops?
Number 39, please.
This is crazy. This is terrible. I apologize to you at home, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know that this show was going to be like this.
Tiffany Stratton. Returning to the list, she wasn't on there this last year. She may not even been on there 2 years ago. So making her debut, 18-2-2 in 2025. She won the women's title in January, held it for 10 whole months of the year. Notable matches: Nia Jax when she beat her, Candice LeRae and Nia Jax with teaming up with Trish at Chamber, Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, Trish Stratus then at Evolution, Jade Cargill at SummerSlam, and Stephanie Vaquer at Crown Jewel. And now, with that, at number 39, Tiffany Stratton, that concludes all WWE wrestlers on my list.
See,
so yeah, so that is it. So the rest of this list will have no more WWE wrestlers on it. So you can look at Tiffany Stratton as the number 1 WWE, and Cody is number 2, and Walter is number 3, and you can calm yourself down.
No.
On my list, that is it for WWE. I put them all in a little bunch at the bottom, and now we move on to the good stuff. Any questions?
Freebird, hold on. So Jay DeFalco, your comment was just answered. That says crazy no AEW so far. Freebird said Juice is Brimstone on this list, and do his custom boots get a spot of their own?
Freebird, I fear I don't have the time discuss Brimstone and his career here on the show, we'd be demonetized in no
Sorry,
time.
Freebird. That's a no. Um,
Yes.
so understanding
Yes.
what you just said, I still don't know how he explains the crazy drop of 34 and 45 spots with
Yeah.
guys who have done stuff all year and held titles all year and
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
and been a big part of the show all year.
Well, that's nice, but those weren't shows I watched, and so this is where they belong. This is where they deserve to be at the bottom of the list. They're lucky I even put them on the list because there was a time where I legit considered doing no WWE, but I figured I need to have some level of integrity with this list, and here we are. So the
All right.
WWE that made this list, you're welcome. That's essentially my top 10 for the year on them, and now we can move on to the good stuff. The
Moving
actual
on.
list. Number 38.
30. This is wild.
Max Caster at 2 and 22 and 1 in 2025.
What are we doing? What are
Let's
you doing?
go,
I'm not
Max.
doing anything.
You're
What are
the
you
best
doing?
wrestler alive. His notable matches, all of them. 'Cause
Oh my god.
in all honesty, he took something that shouldn't have worked and got it over big time in the year. And yeah, now he's doing the stuff with Anthony Bowens. We don't know where it's fully going yet, but he defined part of the year. He made something of the gimmick, and he made all of his segments on the show one of the things you're looking forward to seeing. So
I don't disagree with that. That's true.
yeah. So Max Caster at number 38, making his singles debut here on the list. 37, please.
That's hilarious. I'm just this is crazy.
What do you mean? Christian Cage moving down 3 spots on the year. Only
That's
3 and
understandable. I agree with that.
Only 3 and 6 on the year. Did not wrestle a lot. He unsuccessfully cashed in the Casino Gauntlet contract back in March at Revolution. He was removed from the Patriarchy, and then he was reunited with Adam Copeland as a tag team, albeit briefly for now. And notable matches, the only 2 I put down were really when he cashed in against Mox and Cope at Revolution, and the tag match at All Out. So a memorable year, but didn't do a lot. So I'm hoping good bounce back in 2026.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. Just like Christian Cage is always great, but just a very quiet year. Big feuds, but not a lot of feuds. So agreed.
Yeah, he had something going on, but yeah, I think they'll be back for World's End. But
oh yeah,
I dig. All right, number 36.
Oh, moving on up. Well, I mean, how can you not when 2 guys move down 30 plus spots? Fucking
Hologram moving up 13 spots. I'll admit I debated even keeping him on the list here, but
you went from debating keeping him to moving up 13 spots.
Well, once I had him where I was, I did debate it in full disclosure. But with the way I was doing the list and where I landed, I stuck with it. 20-0 on the year. He came back in February from the injury, beat Beast Mortos, joined the conglomeration. He was gearing up to get the TNT title shot with Kyle Fletcher. And then there was the whole storyline that could have been until he was hacked by El Clone, which means the clone, if you didn't know, and hasn't been seen since. So notable matches: Beast Mortos, Drolistico, and then when he fought Leo Rush, Dorada, and Ricochet at Grand Slam Mexico. So he was having a good year until he got hurt in like September, October-ish. So
yeah, that really
a bummer, but
it also sucks for the fake hologram because he literally just looks like he has nothing to do now.
Yeah,
that's just terrible.
Yeah. All right, next up, number 35. Okay, MJF was not on last year's list, I guess because he had the injuries and wasn't around a lot. But yeah, again, 5-4 in 2025. Did not wrestle a lot, even for his standards. Joined the Hurt Syndicate in a short-lived effort. Won the CMLL World Lightweight Championship. Only held it for a month and a half, and he won the All-In Casino Gauntlet. Still holds that contract. So, fought Page with Revolution and Forbidden Door. He had the Mystico feud for a little bit there. And then the feud with Mark Briscoe, which is also pretty awesome. So he had some memorable stuff going on throughout the year, but he wasn't like that consistent, or it didn't really feel like there was I think the plan's going to come to fruition next year with what they were doing this year. because he's still away.
I
And
agree.
he's,
Yeah.
I mean, if everything that they're saying is true, he's back in like a week because of the Dynamite Diamond ring. So we'll see him soon.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
34,
Yeah.
please.
No, I just didn't think about that.
He's like, oh yeah, he's right. He's
You know
back.
why? Because they haven't really been hyping it up as much as usual. So like, I kind of forgot
Yeah.
that it's next week.
Moving up one spot this year, Adam Copeland. He's 10-4 on the year, so he wrestled a little bit more than Christian Cage. Had some more memorable stuff going on. Most of the beginning of the year, he was battling with the Death Riders, trying to claim the world title. Had the FTR team up, and then they turned on him for a bit. He kind of went away for a little bit. Then he came back, and then he teamed up with Christian and all that good stuff. So again, I have Mox and Christian there. The Moxley Street Fight, which was the better match after the Dynasty. After the Revolution kind of poo-poo match.
Mm-hmm.
And then the FTR tag. So not by much, but I think Copeland had a better year than Christian. And again, because he missed a few months with him going away and whatnot, he's not as high. So 34.
Agreed. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Number 33, Pretty Tree, if you will. Darby Allin. This one hurt, but it makes sense. I have to do it. He dropped 14 spots on the year. He missed 7 months of the year.
Yeah, that's what happens.
He left to climb Mount Everest. He came back at all in Texas to get his revenge on Moxley. He entered the Continental Classic, and then unfortunately was injured and removed. So now he's missing a little bit more time on top of that. But he had that like 3 or 4 month range where he came in and he did the lights out steel cage match at Forbidden Door. He fought Mox in the Coffin match and the I Quit match at All Out and Wrestle Dream. He was in Blood and Guts. He fought Pac at Full Gear. So he did a lot during that time. Just the time away is what made him drop. So RB at 33.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, like I said before, that makes a lot of sense. How can you not? Number 32.
Tekla making her debut on the Juicy 50. 16-7 on the year. She debuted in June, which is crazy because it feels like she's been there so much longer. But she's only been there for 6 months.
Yep.
Formed the Triangle of Madness with Sky Blue and Julia Hart. Some notable matches throughout the year. She fought Athena at the beginning of the year in Stardom. Queen Aminata on Collision, where that feud quickly erupted because the Hater got injured. Willow Nightingale on Collision. The 4-way at All Out with Stat, Hater, and Storm. And then Jamie Hater at Wrestle Dream and Blood and Guts. So she probably would have ended up higher if she was doing the full year, but with half a year, 32. But I have a feeling on next year's Juicy 50, she will be much higher.
Agreed.
So,
Yeah.
31. Oh, sorry.
No, it's right. Especially with the whole stable and everything. I think she's go crazy. 31.
Josh Alexander. Now, hear me out, because I know this one doesn't feel like it makes sense, but I think he's one of the better signings of the year. 15, 16-1 on the year, so not a great record. Debuted in April. Joined the Don Callis family right away, which I think was the best move for him.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at his matches, I mean, he fought Paige at Spring Breakthrough, Brody King on Collision, Adam Cole on Collision, Kota Ibushi on Collision. So a lot of Collision stuff. But then he had the six-man tag at Full Gear, which was great. He fought Swerve on Dynamite, which I think was a good kind of wrap up on his year. So I think 31's a good in the middle spot where like he factored into the year, but he didn't really blow anything out of the water. So that's why Josh Alexander's at 31.
No, I agree with that too. I think he's been a really solid hand for AEW this year, and he's been in some really big matches that people don't even realize, and he's been performing. So no, I think that's a really good spot for him actually.
All right, next up, number 30. Katsuyori Shibata, 17-12-1 on the year. He won the trios titles in mid-April with Joe and Hobbs. They are the current holders of those titles. Some of the notable matches, he fought Tanahashi at Wrestle Dynasty back in January. It was only like a 5-minute exhibition, but still fought him. Keshta at Collision. The 6-man tag then at Spring Breakthrough against Claudia, Mox, and Yuta. So, again, not a great record, but they had the trios belts a lot. He factored in a lot with the ops and the tag title defenses throughout the year. So, Shibata makes the list at 30.
I like that. And Shibata's honestly having a great year too. So,
yeah,
good debut for him. Ooh, I like 29.
29. Powerhouse Hobbs at a surprising record of 27-8. I did not know he had that good of a record on the year, to be honest with you. And he joined the ops. He joined the ops in April. Immediately won the trios titles with them. But he's higher than Shibata because he had some more stuff going on even before then. He fought Mox, start off the year for the title. He fought that awesome street fight with Big Bill. Then they won the tag titles. He was in Anarchy in the Arena. Adam Page he fought in the False Count Anywhere at the Blood and Guts show. So Hobbs had a very good year, 27-8, and getting himself into the op situation because of the hook injury, I think kind of saved his year a lot. So yeah,
No, and I think that makes a good call. It doesn't surprise me that he's 27-8. He's been all over AEW since he's come back. So for some reason, that doesn't surprise me.
oh, there you go. Number 28, please.
28 does surprise me.
Megan Bain making her debut on the list. Again, like I said, there's a lot of debuts on the list this year because of my decisions. That's why it's my list, baby. So 27-13 on the year. Basically, for every win, every 2 wins, she has a loss. Not a bad record. Excuse me, hiccups.
You're getting
Debuted.
nervous.
That's a lot of talking. Debuted in January, formed an alliance quickly with Penelope Ford, and at some point FTR throughout the year, a little bit too. Top Gods out. Didn't really. She kind of came in hot. She had the Tony Storm defense at Dynasty, and then from there, she kind of just found her groove being a tag team person with the squashes. So a strong year, but not really a great year. Blood and Guts. She fought Tony and Mina in the Hardcore Holiday Death Match. Besides that, nothing really stuck out. Again, they were just the. But I noticed she's wrestling a lot in other companies, so she's really getting her reps in. So she's trying to do something. So, 28 from Megan Bain.
No, I mean that is a little surprising because I know, like you said, they had the big feud and the nice tag team, but besides that, I feel like we were saying how they've wasted her potential almost, and like they're not giving her like the push or shine she needs. So I'm glad you are because AEW is not.
Well, I think that's why she's getting the reps. I think she knows she's not fully there, and Tony's like letting her kind of go and do her thing. So
I'm hoping
maybe it'll pay off. Maybe it'll pay off on next year's Juicy.
Ooh, another big drop.
So this one, I mean,
Makes sense.
again,
Saying big drop.
I gotta bear with me. He dropped 23 spots from last year. Last year was this big year with titles. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
that's
this
going to be
will
a
happen.
big drop. Yeah, especially when he's hurt.
13-7-1 on the year. He missed 4 months of action, so he missed a big chunk of the year too. Teamed up with Ospreay to help rid us of those EVPs. But otherwise, his match catalog, he fought Ricochet at Revolution, Mox at Dynasty, Anarchy in the Arena, the awesome match with Ospreay on Dynamite, fought Okada at Forbidden Door, and Josh Alexander on Collision this past week. Jada Falco, how many points did he drop because of the new entrance theme? Honestly, that was probably about five spots alone.
I don't agree with that, and that might be something we talk about on Thursday. But like, I like his new entrance theme. We'll have that discussion later.
Yeah, so that part's a joke on my account. But next up, number 26.
I just love the title. That's great.
Number 26, Shelton Benjamin and Shelton Benjamin only.
Holy.
He was 14-7 on the year in 2025. He won the AEW Tag Team titles all by himself in January and went on to hold them for 8 months. And he hurts people. So, some notable matches. He won the tag titles by defeating Private Party. And some kind of mid defenses. He fought the Outrunners, Big Bill and Brian Keith, Dustin and Sammy. Then he had the all-in match with Patriarchy and Jet Speed. Then they had the Forbidden Door match with Brodito and FTR, where they got all political and wouldn't get pinned and ran away like crying. And then the one-on-one match against Mike Bailey, which is pretty sweet, where he gave him that crazy super kick on Dynamite like a month ago. So, yeah, I figured, Shelton deserves to be on the list after the year he had the tag title, so good for him at 26.
All right.
So I think on that note,
Yep.
we should probably take a commercial break since we're halfway through the list.
Nice. Makes sense to me.
And
Cool.
when we come back, I'll have my last wave of honorable mentions and drop-offs from the top 25, and we will wrap this up with the top 25. So stay with us, and we'll be back shortly.
Yes, sir. think we've been on this whole time. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with the rest of our juicy top 50 juice. Next up, we got honorable mentions.
Yeah, these are some more honorable mentions. This one's a little bit more on the AEW side. Just some names that, as I was already progressing with the list and thinking about it, I didn't put them on, and little bit of regrets, but not really in the end when I look at the names. Because Cole, the injury obviously stunted the whole second half of his year. Um, so yeah, I couldn't justify getting Cole on there really. Hater, like besides the Owen Cup final appearance, like she didn't really do much. Like she was supposed to do the Tekla stuff, got hurt and didn't do anything for a few months. So Hater just didn't really make the cut. And then Mina, Mina really wasn't in AEW for the first like half the year, and even when she showed up, yeah, she won the interim TV title in Ring of Honor for a while and fought Mercedes and fought Tony here and there, but it just wasn't enough. So yeah, those three names are not going to be here in the top 25. So
Yeah, that's fair. It makes me a little sad, especially with Adam Cole, but that makes sense.
I know. It kind of hit me halfway in. I was like, I didn't even do Cole, but then I thought about his year, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't even justify.
Even the good parts of his year just wasn't enough of it. So no, totally get it.
Yeah. All right, let's dive into the top 25. And by the way, if you're joining us late,
I believe you have some
oh yeah,
left-offs?
some drop offs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's do some drop offs. While he's getting to the drop off slide, again, if you're joining us halfway through, this is the Juicy 50. It is my top 50 list of the wrestlers of the year and mine only. It's all the usual factors factor into who gets on the list, but also at the end of the day, it's if I like you or if I don't. So there are some obvious omissions on my
How
part.
dare you drop off Sting, bro? That's crazy.
Yeah, well, retirement will do that to a man. So yeah, if you are watching, also by the way, throw in the chat who your top 5 would be on the year, and let's see if your top 5 will possibly match my top 5. Spoiler alert: it's all AEW. All right,
Cage, you're a little
so,
late.
yeah, some quick drop offs. Thing because he retired. Liv Morgan, he was hurt for a big chunk of it, and just
and she's WWE.
Oh, that too, but she just didn't do enough to make the 10 or 11 the names that I did put on. Drew didn't really do much this year. Orange Cassidy was out for a good chunk of the year. He hasn't really lit the world on fire with his return. Braun Breaker, I'm probably going to get heat for Braun Breaker, especially having him at 10. But honestly, I feel like the first few months he was IC champion. He wasn't really doing anything. They were only building up to the 4-way for Dom to win it. Won it. And then he joined the Vision, but I think he took a step back. And I think that was by design. I think they were cooling him off to let him build up to become whatever, and the Seth injury is propelling it now. But maybe next year he'll make the list. But I think personally he took a step back this year by design. Right. Bianca, the finger injury took her out for like ever, it seems. Mariah May, I mean, she retired back in March, which was tragic, but so be it. And Bryan Danielson also retired due to the injury. So, yeah, some big names there, but this is the people that were in the top 25 last year that the bricks in 2025. So let's see if any of them can make it back in 2026.
Yeah, so the one I'm not going to agree with is Braun Breaker on here because I feel like he should still be lower on the list, but with your whole anti-WWE thing, it makes sense that he's not on the list at all. But
well, and again, full disclosure, like I said, I haven't watched since Mania, but from everything I've read and seen, it seems like he just took a step back by design and became a tag team guy with Bronson Reed. And only because of the Seth injury, he's kind of shooting up now. But even then, Logan's in there now. So that's why. There's logic behind it. I'm not being completely blinded.
No. I understand that. What I'm saying is I feel like if it wasn't an anti-WWE list, which I understand why it is, he would have at least made the bottom of the list because he hasn't had a terrible year. He's been on WWE all week to week. He had a strong start of the year. So I feel like he could have made the top 50 in general is what I'm saying.
Are you seriously telling me that you think Braun Breaker had a better year than Max Caster? Okay, moving on to number 25. Danny, throw up the slide, please.
Oh, boy.
Harley Cameron. And again, for anyone that gets a little bit upset at this point in the list, keep in mind this is number 25 of all the wrestlers in the world. So Harley Cameron at 25,
Just to
12 and
really piss you
17,
off.
12 and 17 on the record. In 2025, she won the first ever women's tag titles about a month ago or a week ago,
I
or
was gonna
yeah, a
say
week
very
ago.
recently, like a week ago.
A week ago. So they're the current holders. Congratulations. Some notable matches. She fought Mariah May on Collision, Mercedes in Australia, Athena on Collision, Tekla on Collision. She fought and beat Athena and Mercedes with Willow, Blood and Guts, and then the women's tag title finals. So a very good year for her, but she's still where she is. Like she's very entertaining, one of my favorites, but not fully there yet. So good year though at 25, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah, she's had such a strong year, big improvement. Um, probably a dark horse for like most improved. I think of the year when we do the awards. Um,
Very true.
and
Which,
I
by the way,
and very
the
entertaining.
Shooty Awards are going to be in about 2 weeks, so
Yes,
stay
sir.
tuned for that
That's what I
episode.
was talking
That's
about
our
earlier.
yearly award show.
Love it. All right, next up, number 24.
Oh,
Oh, a little drop off here.
hmm. Willow Nightingale dropping 11 spots on the year, despite winning the women's tag titles with Harley Cameron. She didn't do a lot in the first half of the year, so 13 and 15, not the best record. She did have some good matches, but excuse me. She had the awesome tag match that I forgot about until doing this with teaming with Swerve, taking on Moxley and Marina. That was a dope
Oh
match on
yeah,
Dynamite.
that was such a good match.
Statlander on Dynamite, the Anarchy in the Arena match she was in, which is also pretty cool because I don't think the women have ever been in that match. So that was awesome for her. Um, Tekla on Collision, Athena and Mercedes beating them in the tournament, Blood and Guts, and the women's tag title final. She didn't do much, but she did a lot of conglomerating. She did, very accurate. So it was a decent year for Willow, but compared to the year before, where she won some titles in other companies, she was doing the Statlander stuff. It just wasn't as big of a year. But
Yeah,
got
she should not be high on this list, but she should be like in the top 25 of this list. I do like that.
yeah. Next up,
Number
23.
23. Oh, only a little drop off here.
We have Roderick Strong dropping one spot from the year before. 18 and 24 record on the year. Is member of Paragon and the conglomeration. Maybe, I don't know. Seems like no. Um, this is kind of when we get to the point in the list where I start putting a lot of the wrestlers that really put in the body of work, but maybe didn't have like the best records or do the most like in terms of like moments or whatnot. But they really played their role well. So as you see, Roddy, I mean, he fought Swerve and Jay White to kick off the year in a triple threat. He fought the Death Riders with Paragon on Dynamite. He fought Cassidy on Dynamite. He teamed up with Paragon to take on FTR and Garcia. He had the two matches with Moxley, which were pretty dope. Then he had the match with Takeshita on Collision. So he's put in a lot of great work that may not add up to like a certain moment or title reign this year, but I think Roddy deserves to be where he is just for the efforts that he's put in every week on TV. So.
Agreed. No, I like that pick, and he's just like you said. He's been all over TV. He's been very consistent. So there's really no reason. I don't care about the record. He's just been a big part of AEW. So I like that pick.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of other things factor in when I do the list. I'm not just being like, I think the first year I did it, I was very by the record, and like with time, I've kind of tried to like factor in other stuff outside of that. So
Being a little open minded, a little juice grows.
a little bit. Next up, 22. We have also dropping one spot. And by the way, for the record, I do not look at the previous year's list when I make the current year's list. So wherever the person ends up is just coincidence. And the fact that these last two both moved on one spot, pure accident. Just want to put that out there. I don't really look at that.
I don't know if we believe him.
I don't. Okay, whatever. At 22, Claudio Castagnoli moving down one spot, 19 and 22 on the year. Began the year Trios champions with the Death Riders. They held them for 4.5 months. He won the CMLL World Championship in November. He's the current holder of that belt. And again, someone that's just had an excellent year. excuse me, we go back to a lot of TV matches rather than pay-per-view. The Copeland match on Dynamite, the Adam Cole match on Collision, the Samoa Joe match on Dynamite, Anarchy in the Arena. I forgot about the four-way with Kenny Omega, Mascara Dorada, and Brody King
Oh
at
yeah,
Fyre
that
Fest.
was huge.
That was an awesome match.
Hmm.
I thought deserves some love. Mark Briscoe on Dynamite, Darby in the False Count on Dynamite, Oxley on Dynamite recently, and defeating Gran Guerrero in CMLL to win the title. So Claudio, very good year, and may likely end up in the Final Four or even the finals. Not the Classic. So 22 for Claudio. Good year for him.
Interesting. All right, next up we got 21.
Ooh, getting there, boy. Evan Knight, one of the big, probably the biggest signing of the year, you'd argue, long term for AEW.
I agree.
17 and 22 on the year. Debuted in March. Again, I thought he was there the whole year. Debuted in March, though. Formed a new tag team, Jet Speed, with Speedball Mike Bailey. And then from there, again, a good player, one of the biggest upcomers. He got shot out of a cannon fighting Jay White, Will Ospreay, and Okada in like the first month or two of being there. And he looked comfortable. He held his own, which is a big sign for him. Um, Fighting Nick Wayne and Shelton Benjamin in a three-way on Collision was dope. The all-in triple threat tag match with Hurt Syndicate and Patriarchy. The two matches with FTR. Fighting Mox on Dynamite. The four-way ladder match at All Out. And then recently beating Darby in his last match at Dynamite. So yeah, Kevin Knight at 21. He's had a good year.
I like that pick a lot. Kevin Knight's had a great year, so yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
20. Oh, I love this pick.
Top 20, baby.
Love this one.
Kyle O'Reilly moving up 4 spots on the year. 19, 18, and 1 in 2025. He's the lesser of two Kyles.
I don't
Maybe.
think so.
I mean, he lost both the matches to Kyle Fletcher on the year.
So then maybe.
Career-defining win, though, against John Moxley at Full Gear, which was huge for him. He was also in Blood and Guts. He had an awesome 2 out of 3 falls match with FTR at Collision with Fong. And then, yeah, he just had some other great matches on the year, fighting the Death Riders a lot, FTR and Garcia a bit. So a huge year for Kyle O'Reilly. That's why I put him above Roddy. I think Kyle got a lot more opportunities with the mock stuff and then the Blood and Guts and whatnot. So
Oh, for sure. He was highlighted more. He's going to be more the main event guy going forward right now. So I think that's the right call right there.
mhm. Number 19, please. We're getting into it. Let's go.
Ooh, big debut.
Mm. Speedball Mike Bailey at number 19. At first, I thought maybe this was a little recency bias, but I do think he's had as strong a year as I'm putting him here at 19. He debuted with AEW in March, formed a tag team with Kevin Knight. Didn't come, you'd argue he didn't come out as strong as Kevin Knight, but he did it in his own way because he immediately had the Ricochet, Mark Davis, and Orange Cassidy four-way, where him and Ricochet had the double pin. And he fought Omega and Ricochet at Dynasty, and then Okada at Double or Nothing, which were huge matches for him. And then he had the Jet Speed stuff kind of going on, where he fought Her Syndicate a bit, Patriarchy, he was in the four-way ladder match, the FTR stuff. And then the huge Kyle Fletcher match on Dynamite a few weeks ago with the Continental Classic, which was potential match of the year candidate. That alone put him above Kevin Knight for me when I was kind of figuring out where they would both end up. So
Kevin
Speedball,
Last called him a damn cornball. He actually won me over last week, though, says Kevin
there you
Last.
go. There you go. So Kevin Last, there you go. Speedball, Mike Bailey at number 19.
All right, number 18. Huge jump. I think the biggest so far.
Could be. Chris Statlander jumping up 22 spots on the year. 15 and 11 in 2025. She won the women's title in September. She's the current holder. Is she the one that stopped the money train, or is she going to get back on the rails? We'll see soon enough. But yeah, it was a little bit of a quieter first half for Stat, but you can still tell about halfway through the year that they were building to something and they knew what they were getting towards with all of the stuff we're seeing now. Jamie Hayter on Dynamite, Willow Nightingale on Collision, the awesome four-way with Athena, Rosa, and Willow on Dynamite, the all-out four-way with Hayter, Tekla, and Tony, where she won the title, Mina Shirakawa on Dynamite, The another match I forgot, match where she teamed up with Darby and took on Marina and Yuta. That was another great match. We need more intergender matches in
I
2026
agree.
TK.
I like those. Those are fun.
Tony Storm defending the belt against her at Wrestle Dream, Blood and Guts she was in, and then of course defeating Mercedes Moné in what should have been the main event of Full Gear, despite how that show ended. But
Ooh.
yeah.
All right, 17. Oh, I miss him.
So this one, I kind of broke my rule a little bit, but it's my list, so I'm allowed to break my rule if I want to. He got injured and he's been out since August, so he's missed a good chunk of the year, which typically would put him about 15 spots lower. But I think he had that huge of a role and impact on the time he was around that this is enough of a drop for him. I think Ospreay 21-4-1 on the year. He was a finalist in the Owen Cup. Was a huge factor in helping Paige kind of get to that step with being the one to beat Mox. The matches then here. I mean, Buddy Matthews on Dynamite to kick off the year. Fighting Takeshita and Fletcher with Kenny in Australia. The steel cage match at Revolution with Fletcher. The match with Kevin Knight at Dynasty, which was huge for Kevin Knight. The Takeshita match at Spring Breakthrough. Adam Page in the finals, which at that point I think was like the half-year match of the year for me. So, I mean, that's huge. Fighting Swerve on TV was huge. And then the lights out steel cage match at Forbidden Door before he took the time off. So a bummer of the end of the year to lose him. It's definitely glaring to miss him, but I think he was that huge of a year that 17 is okay for Ospreay.
I agree. I mean, he had a big impact on. I mean, and it's only been 3 months. It's not like a lot of the other people that have missed a big chunk of time has been like 6 months or more. 3 months is not that huge, especially with the way he went out. So I think this is a good spot for him, and dropping 15 spots is also a big drop as it is. So not bad.
Yeah, I tried to do that. I tried to do it where anyone that didn't do the full year was kind of segmented into like
that's fair
block, but I digress. Number 16. No Taz on this list. Sorry, everybody. No Liz Jones. Number 16, Kenny Omega. This was one I kind of was surprised with. I really debated this one for a while because originally I wanted him much lower. But then I looked at it and like as much as it feels like he hasn't been wrestling much, he's been wrestling like at least once a month all year. So like he's been around. So like I was kind of like, okay. And the impact, because he also missed all 2024. He returned here. He won the international title in March, held it for 4 months. So all the matches are here. I mean, he fought Gabe Kidd at Dynasty, Wrestle Dynasty in Japan. Brian Cage in his AW return. He had the Ospreay tag match in Australia. He fought Takeshita at Revolution where he won the title. He defended it against Bayley and Ricochet. He was in Anarchy in the Arena. That awesome four-way we talked about. He did the unification feud with Okada, which is pretty dope. And then the lights out steel cage match at Forbidden Door. So
yeah, he was all over it. So
he's been doing stuff. It's just he hasn't been the week-to-week workhorse that we were used to. So he's a little high, I don't know, but I think him coming back was huge for the company, so that factored into him returning in January. So,
I like that.
A year ago we didn't even know if he'd be able to do this anymore. Like we were like, oh, is he even going to be able to wrestle Gabe Kidd in Wrestle Dynasty?
I do remember that, yeah, because we were never said he wasn't going to come back at all.
Yeah, so here we are, Kenny Omega, number 16.
All right, 15.
Brody King, another one that I kind of felt like maybe I had him too high, but I do think that him falling into the Brodito stuff helped him a lot with his year.
Yep.
And even before the Brodito stuff, I mean, he was still fighting Okada at Revolution. He fought Fletcher and Takeshita on TV. He fought in that four-way that was pretty dope. He had the FTR tag at Full Gear. He had the stuff at Forbidden Door and All Out, the multi-man tag matches. And then that awesome tag match with Okada and Takeshita at Title Tuesday and Wrestle Dream. So, you can argue maybe a little high, and maybe he is. That's one I could probably give you. You should probably be a little lower, but he played enough of a big role in 2025 that he should be on the list. I put him at 15.
Honestly, maybe he should be lower, but he had a great run with the tag belts to the point where I don't mind him being this high. Like, really good run, really good matches. Honestly, and we talked about it, I didn't believe that it was going to be as good of a reign as it was. So I agree with you. I think 15 is a good spot for him.
All right, fair enough. Number 14, hit me.
Big jump.
Kazuchika Okada, jumping up 22 spots. While not perfect, I think they did a great job this year fixing quote unquote Okada. 22-4 on the year. He began the year as Continental Champion. He's still the current holder. He won the international title in July against Kenny Omega. He's the current holder. But while he never really got his fingers into like a storyline, minus the he did though before in the early months though. The early months he was just fighting Buddy Matthews, Brody King, Mike Bailey, Mark Briscoe. But then he kind of got into the Kenny Omega stuff a bit there with Don Callis. Then he fought Swerve. Then he kind of got into the Takeshita stuff in these later months. So I think they've done a way better job with Okada in this year. And just a laundry list of matches you can see there for him. So yeah, Okada moving up 22 spots, number 14 on my list for the year.
Nice.
Give me number 13. Oh,
sorry. I thought it was an Okada.
Athena. So number 13 for Athena, 22-6, 22-6 on the year. And honestly, I moved her up because at first I had her lower and I didn't think she had that good of a year. But then once I started putting together her kind of like catalog for the year, I kept bumping her up. I was like, she did more this year than she did the year before. There's like bigger picture stuff. I mean, she won the All In Casino Gauntlet, which was huge. Another full year as Ring of Honor Women's Champion. She fought Tekla. She fought Windsor, Mercedes Moné on TV, Thunder Rosa, Tony Storm at Forbidden Door, Mina at Death Before Dishonor, and she just fought Persephone at Final Battle, which is pretty awesome. So a very good year for Athena, and I bumped her up because of it. Because last year she struggled. Last year she didn't really fight anybody that big. She kind of just coasted through that year, and I thought she was hurt for half the year. This is a much better year. Athena at 13.
All right, next up.
Number 12.
Uh-oh. Aha.
That's right, Danny. We have Ricochet at number 12. 21-16 on the year. Very good year for him. He formed the demand, looking for some soldiers, looking for a stable. Became the first ever national champion in November. He's the current holder of the belt. Some notable matches. He fought Zack Sabre Jr. to kick off the year. Fought Swerve Strickland at Revolution. He was in that another awesome four-way with Bailey, Davis, and Orange on Dynamite. He fought Kenny and Bailey at Dynasty. He fought Zach Gowen at Beach Break. Bet you forgot about that one.
I did forget about that one.
Yeah, the stretcher match with Mark Briscoe at Double or Nothing. He had the stuff with the Hearth Syndicate going there for a while. He had that Samoa Joe, Hook, and Lashley four-way where Joe won. That was another decent match. And the Casino Gauntlet where he won at Full Gear the national title. And then he recently defended against Dalton Castle at Final Battle. So a very good year for Ricochet. Happy for him. He deserves it. Number 12.
Agreed.
Number 11. Getting there. Top 10 time almost.
Oh, shit. I like number 11.
Samoa Joe. This is another one where at first I had him a little bit lower on my initial list, and I kept moving him up, looking at how he was doing. I mean, 25-4 on the year. Won the trios titles in April, still has the belts. Won the AEW World title in November, still has the belt. Some notable matches: the Ops when they beat them at Spring Breakthrough, Fighting Mox in the Steel Cage all the way back at Beach Break, Anarchy in the Arena, Adam Page at Wrestle Dream at Full Gear, and then recently against Eddie Kingston at Winter is Coming. Very good year for Joe. I think I had him lower at first because I thought he missed a few months, but that was the year before. So yeah, Samoa Joe at number 11. Very deserving year. Very deserving spot after the year he had. Plus the surprise world title win bumped him up a lot.
Yep.
So top 10 time, baby.
Ooh.
Daniel Garcia, that little dash next to him, he was on the list last year. He did not move. He stayed in the exact same spot as last year, cracking the top 10 at 19, 21, and 3 on the year. He began the year as TNT champion, which I actually forgot. He held it for 3 months. Had it for 3 whole months. He formed an alliance with FTR for a bit there, doing the stuff with Paragon and Cole. Ended up joining the Death Riders along the way. Um, and just a solid, strong year, I think, with the TNT run, and then the heel turn helped just reignite him a lot. And I'm looking forward to him in 2026. See where that all goes once the Death Riders kind of take their next direction. But yeah, some notable matches: the stuff with Mark Briscoe, the stuff with Shibata, Kyle O'Reilly and Lee Moriarty, Adam Cole, a lot of TV stuff again. But and then the FTR stuff and the Moxley matches he had before the turn. So Daniel Garcia, number 10.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Daniel Garcia this year, and I'm glad that I was wrong about his little run with Death Rider so far. Just at first I didn't like it, but it's really grown on me. So nice.
There you go.
Number 9. Ooh, I like number 9.
Number 9 is Mark Briscoe, moving up 14 spots on the year. I have him at 23 and 19 on the year. He beat MJF in the tables and tax match back in September, which was huge. Won the TNT title in November, still the current holder. And yeah, just a great year for him. A lot of stuff on TV, but all year I was saying it that he was having a great year, and it all paid off in the fall here. Fought Garcia a lot on TV. Fought Fletcher. I didn't even realize Fletcher. He fought Fletcher at Dynasty, Wrestle Dream, and Full Gear. 3 pay-per-views this year. They did that match.
Oh yeah.
And on Collisions, they fought 4 times this year. It's been great every time. Takeshita on TV, Ricochet at Double or Nothing in the stretcher match, Moxley at Fyter Fest, Okada in Grand Slam Mexico, MJF in the tables and tax, and Blood and Guts. So, although Mark wasn't in Blood and Guts technically, so I should take that off, right? Didn't he?
No, he was in Blood and Guts. He showed up at the end.
Oh, he showed up at the end. You're right. Yeah, they did the fake out. Never mind.
Yeah. Ha,
Either
fake
way.
you out still, man. It's been months later. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Next
got
up,
me.
number 8.
Yeah. Another big jump. This is probably the biggest jump of the year. Kyle Fletcher at number 8, jumping 27 spots.
Yes, sir.
24 and 5 on the year. A great record. He didn't win the TNT title until July, and he held it for 3 months. And is he the better Kyle? Because he beat Kyle O'Reilly.
Unfortunately for now.
Yeah. So again, I mean, he's got some great matches here. We talked about pretty much all of these. The Takeshita tag at Grand Slam Australia with Omega and Osprey, the Osprey steel cage match, the Mark Briscoe stories. What else we got? The Dustin Rhodes street fight on Collision, the Adam Page all out match. So a lot of good stuff. But like, I was just thinking about this first half of the year. Besides the Osprey like cage match, he didn't really go too crazy. They were still building him up at that point. So he didn't really come into fruition until like the summertime. So that's kind of why I know 8's still high, but like, I know some people had him in his like top 5, top 3. I didn't put him that high just because of that.
No,
But he
no.
deserves
I think
he
eight's
deserves to be
a
in the
good
top 10.
spot. Yeah, 100% top 10, but I don't know if he had a top 5. Because now, so I say wrestling year, but you're not counting anyone pretty much outside AEW. So I don't think he had a top 5 AEW year compared to probably other ones.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, if you disagree with me in chat, let me know. You'll see soon enough. We're getting to the top 5 soon. Number 7.
This is the biggest jump so far.
There it is. Adam Page at number 7. 24 and 5 on the year. He retired Christopher Daniels. He won the 2025 Owen Hart Cup. He was the one to defeat Jon Moxley to win the world title in July. Only held it for 4 months, though. He jumped 39 spots from last year. Because last year, I'm trying to remember. I mean, he did this stuff with Swerve. It was kind of a back seat. Really, 'cause Swerve was the champion. So, like, he didn't do too much, if I recall. That's why he wasn't as high on the list. But either way, notable matches. He had a Texas Death match with Christopher Daniels. He had the 2 matches with MJF at Revolution and Forbidden Door. The Owen Cup finals with Will Ospreay, the match at Moxley at All In, and then the defenses against Kyle Fletcher and the 2 against Samoa Joe. So, a good bounce back year for Page. This is more about the rise back up for him. And while I do think the reign wasn't good, Um, it's been a good resurgence year for him, so he definitely deserves to be in the top 10. So I put him at 7.
I like that. Yeah, I wish if he had a better reign, I think he would have been top 5 easy, but unfortunately the reign
Yeah,
killed him.
just it never got good.
Agreed.
All right,
Number 6, interesting.
Bandito at number 6. I know this is a lot of people's in their top 5, but 26, 16, and 1 on the year. He returned late December, but he got a concussion, so he didn't really wrestle or return technically until 2025. So he missed all of last year. He won the ROH World Title in April from Chris Jericho. He's the current holder of the belt still since April. Won the AEW Tag Team titles in August, held them for 3 months. Notable matches: the Jericho match at Dynasty, the Takeshita match at Supercard of Honor, which is phenomenal. Um, FTR at Full Gear when they lost the belts. The Forbidden Door and All Out multi tags. He defended against Hechicero at Death Before Dishonor. Um, and then the 6-way match at Final Battle recently, where he also defended. So I have him at 6. It's still a great spot. I didn't put him in the top 5 only because it is the Ring of Honor World Title. So it's great that he's had it, but it's still Ring of Honor, and there's not much going on there. So that kind of held it down a little bit. But the Brodito stuff was huge for him, though,
Mm-hmm.
too. So I'm happy for them.
All right,
Number
here we
6.
go. Now we're in our
Huge.
top 5.
Ooh, baby.
Number 5.
Tony Storm moving up 1 spot from last year. 26 and 9 on the year. She won the women's title in February, and she held it for 7 months from there. So a good chunk of the year had the title. She made it to the finals with Mina Shirakawa for the women's tag titles. Did not win them, but still had a good run there. And just some notable matches for her. I mean, the Casino Gauntlet to kick off the year to get her the title shot against Mariah May at Grand Slam Australia and Revolution. The Megan Bain defense, the Mina defense, Mercedes and Tony at All In, which was amazing for Tony. Athena at Forbidden Door. The Sky Blue Philly Street fight on Dynamite was awesome. Deserves a bit of a shout out there. The All Out 4-way where Statlander beat her, and then the Chris Statlander rematch, and then the Blood and Guts match. So a big year for Tony. It was a good one, honestly, where a lot of people thought maybe now Mariah won the belt and that was it for Tony. I think Tony actually came back and got over more than she was the first time around. So another great year for Tony Storm.
Nice. No, and Tony Storm's been just, I think, my favorite female wrestler of the past 2 years. So top 5, easy love for me. Number 4.
Nosuke Takeshita moving up 8 spots. Excuse me. A lot of talking. 31 and 13 on the year. Began the year as the AEW International Champion, held it for 2.5 months until Kenny Omega beat him for it. But a lot of his accomplishments: he was a winner of this year's New Japan G1 tournament. He won the IWGP World Title in October from the G1 win. He's the current holder of that belt. That's a huge deal for him. Notable matches: Shingo Takagi at Wrestle Kingdom, the Fletcher Australia tag match, Omega at Revolution, Bandito at Supercard, the Okada Dorado triple threat match at All Out, the Brodito tag with Okada at Wrestle Dream, beating Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP World Title, and then recently fighting Moxley on Collision and beating him. So huge year for Takeshita. Clearly the rocket's on him right now. He's hotter than ever, and I'm really curious to see how the Continental Classic shapes up.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Really, I hope he ends the year as hot as he started because he's having a great year. So I want to see what they do with him to finish it off.
Yeah. All right.
Number 3.
Number 3. So I broke my rule here a little bit, but again, it's my list, so I can cheat if I want to. I typically don't like to put tag teams together, but in this case, I'm making the exception. I have FTR at number 3 as one unit, not 2 different units. They were 23, 10, and 1 on the year. They turned out Adam Copeland in April. They won the tag team titles in November. They are the current holders of those titles. And from there, I mean, I got the the Dynasty Trios match where they teamed up with Copeland against the Death Riders, 2 out of 3 falls match against Paragon, a match where they took on Dan Garcia and Nigel at Double or Nothing, the Outrunners at All In, the Forbidden Door triple threat with Brodito and Hurt Syndicate, the match against Cope and Cage alone, Jet Speed, and Brodito where they won the tag titles. So I think this has been a huge year for them, winning the tag titles again, turning heel, finding a resurgence, and being so over. I think it's been great for them. So I'm really happy for FTR in 2025.
1,000% agree. I love this pick. I think this is a really good pick for number 3.
All right. And now for number 2 and then number 1. If you were here at the beginning, you probably saw who they are, but I digress. Next up at number 2, Jon Moxley, moving up 9 spots, 26, 20, and 1 in the year. Began the year as world champion, held it for 7.5 months before losing it to Adam Page. I will spare my voice and let you read the list of matches here. But for Jon Moxley, I mean, everyone hated on his reign in the beginning, and I think with time, quickly turned around on it and saw just how giving he was on the year with what he's giving back now with Darby and Kyle and these losses. I think Mox had an amazing year, and I think he deserves to be in this spot as my male wrestler of the year at this point. So Jon Moxley, number 2. Great year for him.
Agreed.
And at number 1.
And going with the Jon Moxley stuff, I mean, we were talking about at the start of the year. It's not that we hated the reign. We just weren't understanding what the goal was with it and with the belt being in the briefcase and everything. But I think they really brought it back for us, so I liked it.
And of course, at number 1, as if there was any doubt, pop it up on the screen, my friend. It is Ultimo Monet, the CEO, 13 belts, Monet. Mercedes Moné moving up 7 spots from number 8 to number 1, 23 and 7 on the year. She was the winner of the 2025 Owen Hart Cup. She was the winner of so many other championships and belts. I'm not even going to list them here because we only have room for 1 slide. She's beaten them all. Nina Shirakawa, Harley Cameron, Athena, Jamie Hayter, Tony Storm, Alex Windsor, Bozilla, Persephone, Riho, Chris Statlander, Red Velvet. If you basically have a name in the women's division, you have lost to Mercedes Moné in 2025.
Yep.
There is no one else. There is no one better. Not only the PWI 500 number 1, the Juicy 50 number 1. Added to the accolades, Miss Mercedes Moné.
Harley with the thumbs down. But no, I agree. I mean, however you feel about her, Mercedes Moné has had just a huge year. She's been all over company. She's been all over TV. She's just, I think she's been great match after great match in my opinion. So this is a really good pick for number 1. I like it. Didn't see this one coming. I thought it was going to be a little bit lower, but I like the pick.
Yeah, I mean, just again, my big thing, especially with the top 10, is you start thinking about who are the ones that when you look back on 2025, they were the ones that defined the year with what they did.
Yep.
I mean, Mercedes, Mox, and FTR alone, like, they did it the best. I mean, Bandito had a great year. Takeshita had a great year. So I think it's good.
Agreed.
I think it's good. Of course they do. I mean, it's my list, but that's how it goes. WWE.
Right.
And at this rate, WWE's probably just not going to be on next year's Juicy 50 by default.
I don't think you're going to care about them by next year.
I already don't. But I only put them on there so I didn't get fully yelled at. But honestly, this is my kind of way of weaning it in. So.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with us this entire time. We hope you enjoyed Juicy's Top 50. If you didn't, please put it in the comments. If you did, please put it in the comments. Let us know your opinions on it. We know Harley's opinion on number 1. Let us know your opinion on number 1. Please join us this Thursday, same time, same place, as we do our Last Point Standing. We talk about this week in wrestling. We have...
Oh, boy.
A lot to talk about with Saturday night's main event, Raw, Dynamite, Collision. So a lot to talk about. So please make sure you join us this Thursday. And we will see you guys then. Let us know in the comments. Check out any of our old videos in the link tree. Throw us a sub and enjoy the sweet tunes of Accept the Wind. Adios, everybody.
Peace out. Get down.